Hello, beautiful people. This is Lovell here at Afro Girl Speaks, and thank you for joining me for Words to Live By Wednesday. The purpose of Words to Live By Wednesday, just so you have some context, is because it's supposed to edify you, pour into that self-love component, and just be able to make real application to your life about things and changes you can make in your life, or change a mindset, behavior, whatever it may be. And I just share some words with you, whether it be a quote. For me, I'm a Christian woman. It might be scripture. It might be a passage I read somewhere that I feel would be edifying for us to be able to explore together, talk about it a little bit, and I share a few words in terms of how I interpret it and would apply it to my life and how it has resonated in my life. And then you can take from it what you need. As people like to say, chew the meat and spit out the bone. So let's get started. The word that I'll be providing today is actually a poem in which I found another anonymous author. So if you see me looking down, it's in turn to read this passage, and it goes as follows. Life is too short to be unhappy. You have to take the good with the bad. Smile when you should. Love what you got. And always remember what you had. Always forgive but never forget. Learn from your mistakes but never regret. People change, things go wrong, but always remember life goes on. It's a simple and short passage on life. A lot of times we look at different parts of our life and we think, this is so not me. This is so not what I planned for my life. I know I found myself in different seasons and different chapters of my life where I'm just like, this isn't it. This isn't how I envision my life. This is not how I envision my life. And I had to sit there and evaluate my life, and in some instance try to find happiness when there wasn't much to be happy about in that instance of my life. Try to find my minuscule point of joy. And this passage resonates with me because, sometimes, when you start out life so young, you think, oh my gosh, I have the whole world in my hand. I have so much time to get things correct in my life. Oh, everything is just going to go exactly as I planned it. It's like exactly how it's structured in my head. And then life happens. Whether it's bad relationships or bad friendships or bad choices, jobs, circumstances, life just happened. And you look at it and you think, is this really my life? I remember when I was in college, I was one of those people that had like a college sweetheart. And I literally dated the same guy all 4 years of college. And nobody in the world could tell me I was not going to marry this man. It's like, are you for real? I'm going to marry this guy. This guy's for me. And even when I just couldn't fathom it. I couldn't fathom us not being together. And then life happened. This wasn't, life happened to me in a way I didn't expect it to, because it was someone that I didn't just date. I mean, we were friends. He went on family trips with my family. I went on family trips with his family. Our lives were so interwoven into one another. For college students, we were doing the most, honey. I mean, we took vacations, before the whole Instagram and vacay life and vacation life was, before social media scene. This was back in the early 2000s, late 1990s, early 2000s, honey. We were in college. We thought we were doing it all, honey. And so I was like, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, and I remember one person said, well, you guys are doing all this while we're in college. Like, what you gonna do when you get married? And we were looking like, the guy did at the time. He's like, what do you mean? We're gonna continue to travel. We're gonna continue to live it up. And so I thought I had my life planned out. I thought I knew post-college what my next few years would look like. And then life happens. Just like that, life happened and decisions had to be made. Long story short, I was graduating from college with my bachelor's degree in computer information systems from FAMU, HBCU, FAMU, for all the rattlers out there that know what time it is. But yeah, so I attended FAMU, and I was so excited about graduating. I knew how hard it was to actually, first and foremost, be in a very challenging major such as computer information systems, embodied programming. I had a business, like mine was integrated with business courses. So it was like how to function as an IT professional in a business sector, but still be able to do the coding and project management type thing and work collectively in a team and be able to present and all this stuff. So although I didn't go hardcore, I am, interesting enough, I am in the tech space, but not in the programming element of it. I thought my life was just, that was the beginning to the whole sea of things that he and I were supposed to encounter, because he was like a business major, and so he graduated a year before me and actually had relocated to Orlando, Florida. I was in Tallahassee, Florida at the time, and I thought he already had an apartment down there and everything. His parents already had envisioned us getting married. I had a blue pit named Sasha. She was called a Staffordshire because unlike the regular pitch, she was kind of like the show dog sector of the Pitt family, and he too had a blue pit called Trick. Funny enough. And life happened. When I say life happened, I found out in a very challenging way that he had cheated on me with somebody. And what made it challenging is I had in turn gone to New Jersey with my best friend for that Thanksgiving right before I was supposed to graduate, and I left my dog Sasha in my car with my then boyfriend at the time, and I was under the impression that he was going home for Thanksgiving, and I wanted to spend this time with my best friend because we were going to be partying, going our separate ways to start our lives, our professional lives post-college. So I get a call while I'm in Jersey that he got in an accident with my car. I felt so devastated, and that my dog Sasha was gone. I didn't know what it felt like to truly, I didn't know how hard it was to truly miss a pet, to be honest, until it happened to me. And I didn't know how devastating it was. When I heard it, I felt bad that, oh my gosh, you got in a car accident. I was so concerned about him. And then it hit me that my dog was gone at the same time. Not gone. She ran off into the woods where he had the accident. They couldn't find her because she panicked. And my dog wasn't in existence anymore. So I came back home. And saw he was a little ruffled up. My car was totaled. I was graduating in a few weeks, and it was just a trying time for me. So it was like an oxymoron. One minute I'm happy I'm going to be graduating. I was getting ready to move to Orlando in with him so we can start our lives together. And mind you, in his apartment in Orlando, there's pictures of us from the cruise we went on before when he graduated and stuff. And pictures of us were all decorated straight up in our living room. His living room, actually. I'm talking about our living room. His living room. And I had pictures of us in my living room at my apartment. So I'm getting ready to graduate, you know. His family is coming to my graduation. My family's, you know, both our immediate families are coming to my graduation. It's supposed to be a celebratory time, and I find out like a week or two before I graduate that this young lady, well, how I found out is my insurance people contacted me to notify me that there was another person trying to file a claim on my insurance policy, my car insurance policy. And I was perplexed. It wasn't the driver in the other car, because that driver was truly at fault. It was actually a passenger that came out of my car. Mind you, my boyfriend at the time had my car. So I posed a question to him. Who was in my car? I wasn't looking for an excuse. I wasn't looking for a lie. I wanted the truth. And crazy enough, I would have continued on being with him and figuring out how we could get past it if he had told me the truth. Because what you have to understand is I had committed almost 4 years of my life dating this man. And then I never felt the need to feel like he would disrespect me like that. I didn't realize he got to be kind of like a jealous type until separation happened, where he had to live in Orlando for some months, a few months at that. And I had to live in Tallahassee for a few months because I had to finish up my coursework. He liked the fact that he found me attractive and other people found me attractive. But what I didn't realize is he was jealous of the guys that I actually were platonic friends with, who he felt were too friendly. And so he just didn't trust me, evidently, as I thought he did. So when this transpired and I asked him about it, he proceeds to lie to me. And when he lied to me, it led to everything that I envisioned for our future crashing. Because what I wasn't going to do is life with a liar, with someone that I have had very vulnerable moments with. And at this stage, you choose to lie to me as if I wasn't real with you. So I had to let him go. I broke up with him before I graduated, even though his family came to my graduation and all. I broke up with him, and I moved on from that. But this passage speaks to that instance in my life because it was one segment of my life. Most people are like, oh, you find your true love. For those of us who are in college, I mean, it was surreal that I didn't marry him, if you understand what I mean. Most people couldn't even fathom it. That I was willing to walk away because of a moment of indiscretion, of untruthfulness. But I realized I made the best decision for me because it was not called for at all. So in that moment, even though I was unhappy, the passage says, life is too short to be unhappy. It took me nearly a year to get over this because it cuts so deep. Cuts so deep. But you have to take the good with the bad, and that's what I had to do. It required me to return back home with my family and reassess my life. I later on got back into a more healthy relationship with someone who truly valued me and my presence and all that. And I found moments throughout my time of reflection to smile because I was grateful that I had my family, I had people around I loved and trusted, and I was able to move on with my life. I did love what, as the pastor says, love what you got and always remember what you had. Although that was a challenging period for me, I couldn't negate that we didn't have good times. What I learned from that, I learned what I needed, what I wanted, and it started my journey as a young adult to realize what was really important to me in different relationships. Although that was one of a romantic sort, it just gave me a better perspective of life, and it was one of those lessons that I learned. Always forgive, but never forget. I in turn forgave him. I forgave him for what he did, and he apologized. But the truth is, I didn't trust him. And because I didn't trust him, I couldn't see myself getting back in a relationship with him, let alone marrying him. Learn from your mistakes, but never have regret. Yeah, my mistake was I didn't realize my naiveness that his jealousy led to what he did. And element of me being naive about the situation and overly trusting. But I never regret the relationship because it wasn't always a bad situation. In fact, it opened me up more to traveling. It opened me up to, we did date night before date night was even a thing. So I could incorporate some of those things in my next relationship because I realized those were good qualities and things that happen, and it let me know the beauty of a very good relationship is a good friendship. And although, like any kind of relationship, you have your highs and lows, that was one of our lowest. And we were friends. Even as in a relationship, we were actually friends that talked about a lot of things. And so it felt like a betrayal. It's like a double whammy. I felt like I was being betrayed by a friend and not just a guy. The next sentence states, people change, things go wrong. And that's exactly what happened. Over the years, we changed. And we had an instance that went wrong. And there were decisions made behind that. But always remember, life goes on. Life does go on. That began my journey to actually understand the importance of relationships. For that instance, romantic relationships, what I needed. Sometimes you don't know what you need until you experience something that you don't. And the lesson I'll say take from this is, I used a romantic instance, is there will be unhappy moments in your life. We're not going to be shortchanged in that. There will be moments in your life that you wonder, why me? Why now? Why this situation? Why is it impacting me to the level that it's impacting me? But besides that, remember, life is short. And you don't have time to be obsessed with a segment of your life to the capacity where it takes away from the quality of your life. So I hope this story time kind of helped. I try to integrate story time in terms of some of these passages that I talk about, and make it, humanize it, and bring it to something that's true to my life. And yeah, thank you for taking the time to listen to me and hearing a word on this Words to Live by Wednesday. I hope it was edifying, and it's something you can apply to your day-to-day life too. It's a passage or a word you can consider, and how you can make good of it in your life if you're not already practicing it. And yeah, catch you in the next video. Please do not hesitate to subscribe and click the check box. Click the check button or whatever. Or click the like button. My bad. But yeah, thank you. Catch you in the next video. Bye.